What's going on, pilot people? Welcome to another edition of Pilot Light Media. Here we are at another Repticon. It's going to be a great day filled with crazy art, amazing animals, friends, and just an all-around good time. So let's go take a look. This was one of our first surprises. This guy brought his pet turtle. So he had a custom bin for him, and he wheeled him around in this cart, and it was really kind of cool. They just kind of, went through Repticon and checked it out. The turtle's name was Stump. So again, Stump was quite the sport. Again, there's lots of great animals here. It's not just reptiles. As you can see here, we've got a spider. And, there again, too, we've got here another scorpion. There's snails, reptiles of all kinds, some fish, some birds. We've seen pet rats, chickens, chicks. There's many, many animals you can pick from. And as far as the reptiles themselves go, I mean, they've got everything. They've got aquatic reptiles, they've got arid reptiles, they have jungle reptiles, frogs, amphibians, all sorts of stuff. And Repticon here also, you just saw the sign, they did have a couple seminars by vendors where you could learn a little bit more about animals or processes or food or whatever they were presenting on. And they had quite the crowd, so we were there early, and so things were just starting to heat up, but we wanted to get there and get our cameras on things before there were too many people. And feeder source, again, this is such a good time. We always like getting our camera near this freezer because it's just great fun. Bags of pinkies. And here we actually got a look inside. There was a customer getting some merchandise, but to no avail. There's really nothing exciting in there. It's all brown paper wrapped. So, but we got a good look at it. Lots of good ways to enhance your setups too. I mean, as you can see, different enclosures, hardscapes. We'll see more of it later, but lots of different driftwood, rocks, live goods, things like that. And here we have some more right away. And please like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. It really helps us out. Lets everyone know that you like what we're doing, and we'll keep on doing more of it. We really enjoy it, and thank you so much for your support. And again, Repticon is really a one-stop shop. I mean, you can get a complete setup here, and depending on the animal you get, you might be able to set it up for them right away. But if you just kind of want to grab all-in-one, or you impulsively buy an animal, which isn't always a good idea, but they do have setups, for things or for creatures you may already have at home. So it really is a one-stop shop. US Ark had a great booth. This is a great table. They rent a large section here at Repticon. They have everything, all kinds of different live baits, as well as kits and cultures so that you can start your own cultures and colonies right away too. And the menu was really great. It was, on a live screen, so it was, up to date, and dozens and dozens of options here. This is a great worm kit that you can buy to propagate, and you can sit here and watch the video for about 7 minutes and learn how to use it, and then you can buy the kit. Here's a couple of the pieces. They've got the food, they've got the starter cultures, everything you wanted here. If you have a large amount of animals or reptiles, it probably does pay, and it is a lot of fun to have your own food for them, and it makes a big difference in their health too. So if it doesn't take up a lot of space, if you have a little bit, if you can keep a container around, it's a great way to give them something great to eat, and it's a lot cheaper too than buying it all the time. So I would encourage those to do so. And stuff for the kids and stuff for everybody. There was a lot of stuffed animals and a lot of 3D art. There always has been a lot of stuffed animals and toys for kids and things like that, and I think that's what makes Repticon fun. But there's also much, much more 3D printed objects, some which are practical and meant for the hobby. We'll see some later in the video, but then some others that are just whimsical and fun. But it was much, much more prevalent at this particular event. Beautiful snakes, if you know what you're looking for. And again, a great collection of Hardscape and different botanicals and decor and different things that you can use for your enclosures. It's really nice too. You can also buy a very small amount of something, such as a beautiful piece of cork like this, or just a small amount of calcium, or a small amount of food, or medicine or vitamins, or all kinds of things like that. Different mediums, food, cultures. It's great. And many of these plastic containers are a little difficult to shoot through. I mean, there's some glare, and it is hard to keep focus at the camera. But we really try to kind of push through and, give a great overview of what is there, but also, just to, really kind of take a good look the best we can. And this was a great creature. This is a aquatic salamander, I believe. It looks a lot like a siren. But this was just fantastic, and the vendor was just more than happy to, pop the lid here so that we could get a good look. It was really, really cool. They had a couple of other aquatic reptiles, but this was an absolute monster. I mean, one of the larger ones that you see at a pet store or at an event like this. I mean, this was really unique. I'll tell you, if you have the room, you would be tempted to just take that home. And here we see some proper dwarf sirens. It was really cool to see these at the event again. They're not often there. And these were of nice size. They were, several inches long, and they had a nice yellow stripe. It was really good to see them there again. Such a great selection too from some of the vendors. The ones that specialize in certain creatures, such as geckos or snakes, really have a lot of unique species, and some right-sized ones too. Things that are much bigger than you typically see, or something that looks healthier. Here's an example. This vendor here was just complete plants, and things that are good for terrariums, or things that would work well, in an arid scape. So, these plants, were right on their own, but they were definitely intended to go into a live build. So, they were very, the selection was curated. They even had some small terrariums or something. If you just wanted something, cool for your shelf, you could just get something like that to go, as well as just a great selection of things for a live build. Awesome turtle selection here, just fantastic. Really like this one. This is a great way to sell too. I mean, you can buy the isopods here in small containers of maybe 10 to 15, and they are in a larger bin, and then on top is just a picture of what they look like. So that's really kind of a great way to illustrate what you're getting a hold of. It's really convenient if you just need something, just to pick up, like a bulb or a different, food or water container, something that, just while you're there, it's easy to grab. Again, they have everything. This was great. I mean, this really looks like birch, which is just really kind of cool. I think, we got to have to take a better look. Obviously, it's not, but it definitely looks real, and it's neat to just see a different kind of wood represented. These were really cool enclosures. Just small acrylic, but they had a really neat look to them.
How you doing today?
I do.
If you have any questions, anything you like.
Fantastic. Some great snakes. These guys are always great for the camera. And like I said, many different animals. Here we have pet rats for sale, right next to the turtles. This is just a really great booth. I mean, just the layout and the design, as well as all the packaging, was really exciting. So it was cool just to take a good look here. And they had their own TV station. So, I mean, how exciting is that, right? Very cool. Guardians of the Geckos. Mango Madness, Pineapple Crush, Watermelon Blast. Definitely exciting names. I mean, if I had an animal that, you know, I could feed that kind of thing, that would definitely be the brand I would buy. That's great. There we go. There's one of our first 3D printed objects. I know we're going to see a lot more, but it is fun. It's always great to take a look at these frogs. I know they do take a lot of particular care and specialty knowledge, but they are really great. This guy was great. I mean, definitely peered back at us. Jumping spiders, velvet spiders, praying mantis, isopods. All in one place. And again, a great selection of plants for small enclosures. You know, a one-stop shop. You could get everything you wanted there for a good, nice setup. Tracking software, not really sure what it entails, but it looked interesting. So, you know, again, we wanted to, you know, show what is there and, you know, give everyone a chance to dive in. And here we go, a white 3D printed alligator, as well as an assortment of lizards. They were very realistic looking. I mean, this was really really interesting to see. Look at that. Quite realistic. And Repticon t-shirts. I haven't always seen them, so it was cool that they were there this year. He did not look happy to be there, but a great creature nonetheless. Look. This is one of a more unique booths. Again, always something different. Few more fabulous 3D printed creatures. The vertical enclosures are really, really great to film with, and they make it really easy to see too. So it's nice to see more and more of those at Repticon, both with corner booths as well as just those in the aisles. It makes just a great viewing for everybody. Lots of snakes and snake handling tools, as well as enclosures. They had it all. some really good pieces of cork. It's much different than shopping at a pet store because everything here is spread out, so you can really take a good look at all the pieces. And if you want to take your time, you can really find those that are really good for a particular build you may have in mind. Something the right size, or the angle, or the color, or the shape, or the way it's already cut. Again, if you take your time to look, you can find just awesome hardscapes. Again, it's nice when there's no top, and you can really zoom in there, and you can film them without any kind of glass or plastic or reflection on the top, so you can really get a good look at these creatures. Even the 3D printed ones have an attitude. There's always some really cool aquatic turtles here. We always like to take a good look at this booth. Nice selection too. So we will show the signs so you can get an idea. Musk turtle is one of our favorites. And not to be forgotten, a tortoise. If you really want a pet for a long time, if you're in it for the long haul, they do make great pets. As you can see with the person that we met when we walked in, it can turn into a lifetime companion. You may build a wagon for them one day. Feeding time is always great. Anytime I'm walking on Repticon and I see something that has some food in its cage, or it looks like it's going for it, I always stop to just take a look and watch them eat. And this guy had 3D printed everything. Animals that exist, animals that don't exist, animals you probably wish you did, that did. And other things, who knows? As you can see, no shortage of selection. But it was great to see all these different things. So many ideas. Even a manatee and an opossum. Had to give it another pass. I mean, just the textures and colors alone. These were panels for custom enclosures, or at least I think it was custom backgrounds. But you know, you can do some really unique things with what they had here. So I think in a minute we're going to turn the corner and you will kind of see the different enclosures here. Again, all acrylic, and again, you could swap the different color backgrounds. A really neat idea. Again, lots of great plants, all you know, just pruned and 100% green, terrarium-friendly plants, you know, build-friendly plants, just ready to go. Even rubber ducks. Like I said, there's everything. And stickers. Who doesn't like stickers? And here was one of the more interesting 3D printed objects. These were mushrooms that you could, you know, hang on the side of an enclosure. Behind them, they have the grooves for suction cups, and you could hang them on the side. They could be, you know, a food dish, a water dish, or just a hangout. Over here, we will see some of them in action. As you can see, this vendor was a frog breeder. They had lots of frogs here, lots of tadpoles, and you will see some of the 3D printed mushrooms in the enclosure. And those were tadpoles, super small. And here they are, you know, in a much bigger state. I don't know how long it took, you know, to get from each size. It would be interesting. But again, they just had tadpoles that you could buy. They had frogs you can get, any stage of life, ready to go. And lots of them. You don't see a lot of tadpoles at Repticon of any species, so it was really, really cool to see. And here you can see many frogs ready to go. Take one home. And again, the acrylic enclosures, as you can see, you can customize them with different colors. Here too, you can just get a cube, and you can get the different colored backgrounds. So you can do some really cool things with some of your enclosures. Very non-traditional, but completely functional, and again, something different. And even this way, they had complete setup, so you could just take something and go. Spiders and different creatures of all kinds. Here, this was one that was out during a demonstration, and it was really just kind of cool to learn a little bit more about them and to see one, out. Really nice colors on these snakes. The tomato frog looked great too. You really can't see it there because the container is a bit misty, but all the creatures just had great color. A small jumping spider, I believe. There's another one. This was a nice display to film because there was no glass or plastic on the top. It did not reflect any light. The cargo net was also really kind of just a neat touch. But as you can see here, you're able to get a good look at the animals and just kind of very much peer through or in this case, film through the big holes in the net. So this was just a great way to display them. But of course, you can't do that for all of the animals they sell there. But for some, it was a neat setup. This was Steve, and he is not for sale. And you can see why. This was a magnificent, magnificent animal. Crocodile monitor.
Get the best video, my dear.
And we caught these guys at feeding time, so we decided to stay for a minute. Lots of fun art pieces. Here's a few. It is fun to see all this stuff after, you know, rows and rows of snakes and turtles and things like that. Then just to turn the corner and see, you know, somebody else's art from the corners of their mind. It really is, you know, a neat jolt, and it makes the event just really fun.
You got sirens. Okay.
Yeah, I really like the Mesoamerican backgrounds on those cages. I know that I've seen those displays for sale before, and I know they come with them. Even though they're not, you know, wouldn't be handmade, I still really like that that artistic look to some of the terrariums. And the crazy-headed cobra, you know, creature that we just shown, you know, I know we've shown that here before on our videos of Repticon, so it's kind of neat to run into some of those again. It's just like seeing an old friend. Yeah, those albino turtles are really neat. I mean, you know, very striking colors. This was great. I mean, this was just a general warning, you know, about transporting your pet, or about, you know, leaving them, you know, in a temperature-controlled area for even a short amount of time. So it was neat to see someone proactively give warnings to people who just might not think about it. This is a great 3D printed box, you know, complete with lid, and you know they had them in different colors, with and without logo, but it was really just kind of cool, a cool product. And this we really, really like, this 3D printed pyramid. I guess, they said you can customize it, get it printed in just a few different colors. They might even be able to adjust the size. So that looked like something that we might want to pick up. And that was cool here too to see a camera. So, camera on camera. And they did have a voting system where you could vote, your favorite vendor. So that was really kind of neat. It was just a QR code that you could scan at the booth, where you wanted to, put your vote in, and then at the end they would tally it up. So, that was a fun, friendly little competition. Those are really liked. I mean, just the 3D printed skeletons of dinosaurs. And these were really neat too, these different creatures. Just the texture and the color and the shine on them. It was just very unique. Something that, we had really never seen before. It was cool to see more screens at some of the booths too. I mean, it just made everything a little more interactive, and it was able, that way they could convey, more information in a small amount of time. So that was a neat change. And this was great. This was really just kind of a neat way to see, one of the tortoises out, and again, an example of a great interactive display. Again, another frog breeder who must have just had a hatch. They had, many examples of the exact same species, the exact same size, so you could take your pick. And here they had eggs ready to go too. Chickens, teacup chickens. I think there were quail eggs. So you could get some furry animals, you could get some feathered animals, you could get some scaled animals. So something that lives in water. I mean, they really just had anything you could imagine there, and you can use your imagination and walk out with who knows what. So once again, thank you so much for coming along with us today at Repticon. It was really an exciting day. Lots of innovative booths. The screens were really cool. A lot of the 3D printed art was really exciting, and importantly, really, really fantastic creatures. And again, a one-stop shop for all of your needs. So thanks again for tuning in. Again, this is Pilot Light Media with another edition thereof. Please do like and subscribe and keep it tuned here. Thank you.